Golden State Warriors fans, we need to talk about the current state of the team because things are shifting fast, and the front office seems ready to make moves that could change the dynamic of this roster. Jonathan Kuminga, for instance, appears to be on his way out of San Francisco sooner rather than later. Even before the earliest trade eligibility date hits on the 15th of next month, the Warriors have already begun quietly exploring options, and it makes sense given how recent games have played out. Saturday's matchup against the Cavaliers was a turning point. Kuminga struggled to make an impact, and it was the second unit that really carried the team to victory, showing a different kind of energy and cohesion on the floor. Then, to add fuel to the fire, he was benched the following day for the game against another opponent, sending a clear message that things were not aligned between the player and the team. Starting trade discussions now gives the Warriors some breathing room to carefully evaluate possibilities and weigh the pros and cons of potential deals before the trade window officially opens. The challenge, of course, is identifying the right trade partner. Kuminga's contract is substantial at $22.5 million, a 1+1 deal with a team option. That level of salary puts limitations on who the Warriors can realistically target while still addressing their roster needs. There's always speculation around big names like Giannis Antetokounmpo or Anthony Davis, but in terms of actual fit for a Kuminga trade, those options are far from ideal. The Warriors need a player who fills a specific gap on the roster, someone who can help elevate the team in a championship contention rather than simply maintaining the status quo. One potential candidate that comes to mind is Domantas Sabonis, whose skill set would integrate well with Golden State's system. However, acquiring him is far from simple. His contract demands significant financial commitment, likely requiring an additional $20 million, and a trade would almost certainly involve sending multiple players in return. This makes such a deal complex, but starting the groundwork now allows the front office to navigate all these logistical hurdles and plan strategically for the future. Another intriguing possibility involves Kristaps Porzingis. On an expiring contract and currently part of a team in transition, Porzingis could offer the Warriors a valuable stretch big who can impact both ends of the court. Atlanta, his current team, has been trying to find balance between competitiveness and rebuilding, and the uncertainty surrounding their star player Trae Young adds another layer of complexity. Porzingis provides a solution for the Warriors while simultaneously helping the Hawks address a void left by trading DeAndre Hunter. His ability to operate as a versatile forward, capable of playing both the 3 and 4 positions, offers flexibility that could be crucial down the stretch. Of course, relying on a player with an expiring deal introduces some risk, as Golden State ideally wants contributors who can remain part of the team throughout their championship window. Still, the potential payoff could be significant, which is why this trade possibility continues to circulate as the earliest trade date approaches. While discussions about incoming talent are critical, attention is also turning to the current roster and the players who may no longer fit the long-term vision. Coach Steve Kerr has publicly acknowledged that Pat Spencer deserves a full-time spot on the team, a sentiment that underscores his importance in maintaining balance and leadership on the floor. Since Steph Curry's injury, Spencer has emerged as a reliable backup point guard, demonstrating court vision, decision-making, and consistency that some of the bigger names on the roster haven't consistently provided. Players like Jordan Poole, while talented, often struggle with consistency, producing dazzling performances one night and falling short the next. For a team aiming for a championship, that inconsistency can be detrimental. Spencer's ability to orchestrate the offense and provide stability allows the Warriors to maximize the impact of their star players, particularly Curry and Draymond Green, who can no longer carry the full load alone. Integrating Spencer as a permanent part of the rotation will not only stabilize the backcourt, but also free up other players to focus on their strengths without being forced into roles they aren't equipped to handle. The financial aspect of Spencer's full-time integration remains a consideration. Currently operating on a 2-way contract with a limited number of NBA games allowed this season, transitioning him to a standard contract requires careful management to avoid exceeding salary cap thresholds. A prorated approach could allow the team to maximize his contributions without jeopardizing financial flexibility, and it signals a commitment to rewarding performance while maintaining strategic planning. The long-term vision here is clear. The Warriors recognize the value of players who understand their role, compete relentlessly, and provide tangible contributions on the court, and Spencer embodies all of these qualities. On a broader scale, the Warriors' front office is actively confronting the reality that their current roster has vulnerabilities that cannot be overlooked. After some disappointing losses earlier in the season, particularly against teams like the Thunder and the 76ers, it became increasingly apparent that the team could not rely solely on veteran stars to cover deficiencies. The strategy now revolves around addressing these gaps head-on, whether through trades involving players like Moses Moody or Buddy Hield, or by positioning themselves for strategic acquisitions when trade eligibility opens. The goal is to create a balanced, versatile lineup capable of competing at the highest level without constantly playing catch-up. Past seasons have shown that falling behind early can have lasting consequences, and the Warriors are determined to avoid repeating those patterns. Rumors and speculation continue to swirl around high-profile names like Giannis Antetokounmpo and Jimmy Butler, but realistically, the landscape for such blockbuster trades is limited. Giannis is not coming to Golden State, and any suggestions to the contrary fail to account for the complex contractual and strategic realities teams face. Milwaukee cannot afford to trade him for picks or expiring contracts alone, as their own roster decisions and future picks are tightly controlled. Any realistic scenario involving Giannis would likely require a combination of star players and strategic assets, and even then, his preferences and career trajectory would heavily influence outcomes. The Warriors, in contrast, are focusing on moves within reach, targeting players who provide immediate impact, fill roster gaps, and complement their championship window. At the heart of all this is a willingness by the Warriors to confront hard truths about their current roster. The team has looked in the mirror and acknowledged that the status quo will not suffice. Veteran leadership can only cover so many holes, and without proactive adjustments, even a team with stars like Curry, Green, and Thompson cannot reach its full potential. Recognizing this reality, the front office is now positioning the team to make deliberate moves that will reinforce the roster, address weaknesses, and ensure the Warriors are competitive throughout the remainder of the season. The conversations surrounding trade possibilities, roster adjustments, and strategic acquisitions all reflect a calculated approach to turning observed weaknesses into actionable improvements. This shift in mindset is critical as the season progresses. The Warriors are no longer content with treading water or relying on sporadic flashes of brilliance. Every roster decision, from trade discussions about Kuminga to the integration of Pat Spencer, is geared toward creating a cohesive, championship-ready unit. The team is preparing not only to compete, but to dominate, recognizing that incremental improvements and strategic additions could be the difference between another season of uncertainty and a legitimate title run. The emphasis on balance, versatility, and sustainable performance underlines a commitment to thoughtful roster management rather than reactive decision-making. As we dive deeper into the Warriors' strategy moving forward, it becomes increasingly clear that their approach is about more than just one or two trades. It's a systemic effort to retool and optimize the roster for sustained success. The discussions around Jonathan Kuminga are only the tip of the iceberg. While he represents a valuable asset that could bring in a versatile player to address positional gaps, the bigger picture revolves around creating a team that can consistently compete at the highest level without relying solely on the brilliance of their superstar core. Golden State has reached a point where incremental gains won't be enough. They need targeted improvements that can translate directly into victories, especially in the playoffs where every mismatch is magnified and every weakness is exploited. Looking at the potential trade scenarios, it's important to consider how players like Domantas Sabonis could fundamentally change the Warriors' interior game. A skilled, high-IQ big man with the ability to stretch the floor and contribute across multiple statistical categories would give Golden State new dimensions offensively and defensively. Sabonis brings not only scoring and rebounding, but also the ability to to facilitate ball movement from the high post, something the Warriors have occasionally lacked when Curry and Thompson are closely defended. Integrating a player of his caliber, though complex financially, signals a commitment to filling gaps in a way that complements the existing stars rather than simply replacing one piece with another. This is the kind of strategic thinking that differentiates championship-caliber organizations from teams that plateau despite having talent on paper. Meanwhile, the Warriors must also weigh shorter-term options, like Kristaps Porzingis, whose expiring contract presents both opportunity and risk. Porzingis is a 7'3" stretch big who can knock down threes, protect the rim, and create space for shooters, all qualities that align with Golden State's style of play. However, acquiring him for the remainder of the season could leave questions about long-term continuity. The Warriors have to balance the immediate boost he provides with the need for players who can remain part of the roster throughout the team's championship window. This balancing act between short-term impact and long-term planning is a recurring theme for the organization, and it underscores the importance of thoughtful roster management. Roster adjustments are not limited to potential incoming players. Existing contributors like Moses Moody and Buddy Hield are squarely on the table for trades because their larger contracts and inconsistent production make them prime candidates to be leveraged for more complementary talent. Moody has shown flashes of brilliance, but has yet to consistently deliver at the level required for a team with championship aspirations. While Hield's scoring ability is undeniable, yet not always efficiently integrated into Golden State's system. Trading either player could free up financial flexibility and create opportunities to bring in pieces that better fit the team's immediate and long-term objectives. Beyond the front court, the Warriors have recognized the value of stability and leadership in the backcourt. Pat Spencer's emergence as a reliable, versatile guard has been a revelation. Since Curry's injury, Spencer has taken on a leadership role, controlling the pace of games, facilitating offense, and providing defensive effort that the Warriors desperately need. Unlike some of the bigger-name guards whose production can fluctuate, Spencer's consistency and understanding of his role make him invaluable. Integrating him full-time into the rotation not only strengthens the team's depth, but also allows Kerr to experiment with lineups that maximize the efficiency of the stars while maintaining balance across the roster. The challenge now is navigating his contract situation, ensuring that the financial logistics allow for his permanent inclusion without jeopardizing salary cap flexibility. The larger context for all these moves is the Warriors' desire to avoid the pitfalls of past seasons, where early struggles force them into reactive adjustments. Last season, for example, Golden State spent much of the second half playing catch-up, needing to make up ground to remain in contention. While the addition of Jimmy Butler helped propel them to a hot streak, it required playing from behind for extended periods. This year, the goal is to preemptively address weaknesses, ensuring that the team starts from a position of strength rather than constantly trying to compensate for deficiencies. Every move, from potential trades to internal promotions, is being evaluated with this philosophy in mind. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. The basketball world is buzzing, and the whispers are turning into roars. According to an insider source close to the NBA, the Golden State Warriors have pulled off what could be the most sensational move of the market yet. The league is no stranger to shockwaves, but this one might redefine the balance of power in the association. Rumors are swirling that the Warriors have finalized a deal with none other than LeBron James, a name that carries as much weight off the court as on it. Sources claim negotiations have been intense, secretive, and nothing short of dramatic, with front offices reportedly working around the clock to make the deal happen. LeBron's potential arrival in San Francisco is already generating talk of a seismic shift in the Western Conference hierarchy. Fans and analysts alike are debating how his experience, court vision, and championship pedigree will mesh with the Warriors' high-octane, sharpshooting style. The combination seems almost too good to be true. The Warriors' precision offense, paired with LeBron's playmaking and leadership, could create a lineup that every opponent dreads facing. While the official announcement remains pending, social media has been ablaze with speculation. Jerseys are trending, hashtags are multiplying, and insiders are hinting at a blockbuster presentation that could rival some of the league's most legendary player moves. There's chatter that this could alter the dynamics not just for Golden State, but for the entire NBA landscape, with rival teams scrambling to adjust their strategies before the dust settles. The deal, if confirmed, would mark a historic convergence of talent and legacy, merging the Warriors' championship culture with LeBron's unmatched presence on and off the floor. Analysts are already mapping out hypothetical lineups, imagining late-game scenarios, and wondering how Coach Steve Kerr will integrate a player of such magnitude into an already dominant rotation. One thing is certain. The rumor alone has ignited debates from coast to coast, and if it comes to fruition, it will be remembered as one of the boldest maneuvers in NBA history. For now, the basketball world watches with bated breath, eager to see if the whispers solidify into the news of the decade. Whether fantasy or reality, the mere possibility of LeBron in a Warriors jersey has sparked a frenzy, proving once again that in the NBA, the line between rumor and revolution can sometimes vanish in an instant. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.